You guys have probably heard of the term red pilling, and it's becoming more and more common today. You've even seen guys like Elon Musk use it on Twitter at some point. But
What does
there's
it mean to you? So that for the folks that maybe haven't heard it, can you define that for us to the best of your ability?
it's unplugging from society's lies. Culture, society, religion, education, marketing, Hollywood. They sell you a bill of sales. It's simply not true. Like at some point, guys come to the realization that what they were told, and I'll use one simple example. So something like marriage, for example, any guy that's been through the divorce machine understands that women aren't necessarily sugar and spice and all things nice, and that if you take your vows and promise to be together forever with one another in sickness and health, and rich or poor and all that sort of stuff, at some point guys, or 50% of the guys, will go through the divorce grinder and they'll learn, well, that's not entirely true, and women do care about your success. And if you stop chasing excellence, then she might stop looking at you as the apple of her eye, sort of thing. So that's what a red pilling moment is. And I think
And
I
it's from
had
the
three of
Matrix,
them.
right? It was like a
Yeah,
Matrix.
it's
Yeah,
yeah, it's like one of those things that like the
yeah.
underground community sort of pulled from the Matrix and they made it their own lingo, like red pill, blue pill sort of thing. And I think there was three events that sort of red pilled me that led up to the book, The Unplugged Alpha. And the first one was me going through my own divorce roughly 3 years after my marriage. Then it was a lobbying effort that I dealt with in Ontario here in Canada, because there was legislation that credit card companies and banks pushed through to essentially eliminate the debt negotiation industry. And then the third thing was, after I got divorced, I got tied up with a woman that was also divorced with a couple kids in towed. And a lot of the things that I thought, my entire life, just kept getting beaten down. It's like, okay, she's violated that, she's betrayed me here and there, sort of thing. It's like one thing after another. You have to come to the realization and stop pointing the finger at other people and blame yourself for the results that you get. And the book itself is really just a collection of some life experiences that I went through, where I made my wounds my work.
So what mistakes were you making? Because you it sounds like, if I'm
Mhm.
hearing you correctly, you attracted, and I don't want to misstate here, but it sounded like you said you attracted two of the wrong partners, right? Is that correct? Or one?
Yeah, so that's actually a very good place to start. So definitely chose the wrong wife.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a bad woman, just not a good woman for me.
And
Not
you're
a good
owning
fit for me.
that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Same thing with the lady that I dated after I got divorced.
Okay. I just want to
And
make sure it wasn't
that
your
was on
current
me.
wife, and I was, yeah, got it.
No, no,
Okay,
no,
perfect.
no, no,
Yeah.
no. Like guys make incredibly bad choices when it comes to relationships, and that's one of the things my book deals with a lot, and it helps sort of get guys' heads squared away properly. It's one of the reasons why a lot of my coaching comes from some very high net worth individuals that have either dealt with problem women in their lives. They're very successful in business. Like, one of the things I've noticed about entrepreneurs is you can be a weapon in your business, build something that's phenomenal, generate huge amounts of revenue, hire lots of people, solve big problems in the world, but suck in their personal life, like allow
Mhm.
an absolute disaster to run them, right? So these are the sorts of things that I help guys with, getting their head squared away with.
I think it's also interesting because you hear a lot about, there's like the gender gap and this male dominance over society, and all these things. And I've heard some recent discussions on this, where the wealth, regardless of male or female, is probably concentrated to the very top.
Mhm.
And a lot of the things that guys are going through every day, like we have a property management company, right?
Mhm.
And these guys are out there grinding and doing some very challenging work throughout the day. So it's interesting to see how this thing is morphed into, okay, there's probably some bad actors out there that are doing some negative things, but also a lot of guys are getting up at 4 a.m. in the morning, going out, doing the shit work that no one else wants to do. And we're saying that guy is privileged. Meanwhile, he's out there humping it, and the work, I'm saying, like, he's out there humping the job to
Mhm.
provide for his family and do the right thing. And I just don't see how that is living this life of privilege and dominance. It's almost, a life of service to me. And that's the thing where I think we're getting crossed up these days.
Yeah, there was a male feminist, his name's Dr. Warren Farrell, that I think lobbied for close to 15 to 20 years for women's rights. Was the only male member elected to a board of a feminist organization. And I think he realized, if I'm not mistaken, about halfway into his career, that men aren't actually the privileged sex. It's women that are privileged and women that are protected. And it's kind of been all that way,
And I'm
throughout
good
history.
with that as a man. And that's
Absolutely.
probably sexist to say. Like, I don't know
No, it's
what's
not.
okay,
It's
but
not.
like,
I want to
like,
be the man. Like I want to protect, provide, but I also want to preside too. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.